All right, so the second part of the chapter, this is the bottom of page 50. Isabel's dad had just typed a message, and it said all the way at the bottom, Pierce locked us in here, released the virus into this room, scrambled lock code. He has only keycard to open it. Isabel stepped back, a look of horror spreading across her face. Something in Spanish, I don't know what it means. The world swam around Ash like a liquid dream. He was aware of Isabel beside him and could feel her reaction, hear her heart pounding. He could actually smell fear oozing from her pores with the scent of burnt plastic. All thoughts of what was happening to him were gone as he typed once more. Cure? Dr. Vasquez frowned. Antiviral is called Zeus. Pierce brought Dr. McCarthy here to make it. Now he has it. Took everything. Has virus, antiviral, vaccine, all the research, leaving the island. Ash glanced at his mom and then typed, make more antiviral. Dr. Vasquez shook his head. We don't have everything we need. No way to get in here. Lab is locked. Isabel sobbed. Her knees buckled and she sank to the floor. Ash knew exactly how she felt, but didn't know what to say to her. He set the tablet to one side and put her arm around her shoulder. Mom had comforted him many times in the days after Dad had died, sitting exactly like this, not saying anything, because sometimes there isn't anything you can say. It might help if there's someone to share it with you, someone to strengthen you, but sometimes you have to accept things for what they are, learn to live with them. But Ash decided this wasn't going to be one of those times. There was nothing he could do about what had happened to Dad. He couldn't bring him back. But there had to be something he could do to help Mom. There had to be. Dad wouldn't have given up, so neither would he. We can get it back, he said to Isabel. The cure, the key card. How? There has to be something. He wasn't going to lose his mom without a fight. And he began to feel the same things he had felt when he saw Kane attacking her that day after the funeral. All that anger, determination, and fear mixing up into a powerful potion that put a raging fire in him. We have to do something, he said. We can't give up. We have to be tough. We have to be clever. He wanted Isabel to feel the same fire inside her. You got us to the lab in the dark. You're brave. I know you are. So come on, Isabel, think. What can we do? I don't know. They said they're going to cross the island and be gone. Maybe we could go after them if... That's it! Ash jumped to his feet as the memory of the helicopter popped into his mind. You're a genius. They can't just leave the island. They have to cross it. We can go after them. And they're carrying that crate. They'll be slow. Isabel shook her head and stopped him. I'm sorry, Ash. You are forgetting the lockdown. The shutters. We can't get out of here. Ash stopped with his mouth open, and cold dread rose through him. But there has to be another way out, he said. It doesn't make sense to be able to shut everything down like that. It's for safety, in case. A way to open the shutters, then. Isabel held out her hands. I don't know. Another door? Emergency exit? Something? No, Ash fought back tears of frustration as he turned away and jabbed at the keyboard on the tablet computer. Pierce and Kane crossing island to boat. We could try to stop them, but everything locked down. Shutters everywhere. No power. But here. How do we get out? Mom stared at the words, then raised her eyes to look at her son. It was the clearest expression of desolation Ash had ever seen, and he knew what she must be thinking. She could die horribly in the lab while Ash and Isabel watched. And then, locked inside the biosphere, he and his new friend would eventually run out of food and water, and they too would die. But Isabel's dad typed something and held it up for Isabel to read. Use Hex 13. Is that a way out? Ash felt a glimmer of fresh hope. Like a door or something? Yes. Isabel narrowed her eyes as she thought about it. A way out. Then what are we waiting for? Let's go. Mom and Dr. Vasquez shared a glance before Mom took the tablet. No, she typed. Too dangerous. We have to do something, Ash replied. Mom shook her head. What else can we do? Stay here? Mom read the words and looked away. He was right. He couldn't stay in the lab and watch her die. I am Ash McCarthy, he wrote. I am strong. I can do this. Ash put the tablet up against the glass until his mom looked to see what he had written. When she did, tears welled in her eyes. She knew the words, and she knew what they meant to him. I won't lose you too, Ash wrote. Mom lowered her head with a heavy sigh. When she looked up again, she met her son's gaze for a second, and then turned and spoke to Isabel's dad. What are they saying? Isabel was watching them intently, trying to read their lips, but she could make out only the odd word. Can you tell? No. Are they arguing? Ash thought there were some moments when they might be, and others when they seemed to agree. The two women joined the conversation, coming together so the four of them were standing in a huddle in the center of the lab. They are making a decision, Isabel said. Yeah, but about what? Eventually they nodded to one another, shook hands, and then Mom came forward and typed another message while the others watched. Boat is in the bay on other side of island. Isabel knows it. You must get there. You must get to it before Pierce. Damage it. Destroy it. Stop them getting on boat. They must not leave island. Ash nodded, excited by their sudden burst of optimism. We will bring Cure and Keycard. When Mom read this message, Ash was confused to see the look of sadness still on her face as she typed something else and held it up. Most important is they don't leave island. It is a priority. Kronos must be destroyed. Ash read the 3 sentences over and over, certain that he had missed something. From the look on Mom's face, he knew something wasn't right about this. Why was she so insistent about... And then it hit him. She was telling him to stop Pierce from taking Kronos off the island, not telling him to save her. If Kronos left the island, millions of people could die. That's what she wanted him to stop. Mom didn't expect him to bring back the cure and the key card. She wasn't expecting to be saved. I can do this, he typed. I will bring it back. I promise. Mom sobbed and turned her back on him. She walked to the far end of the lab and stood for a moment. Isabel's dad put a hand on her arm and they spoke quietly. When they were finished, Mom stood up straighter and returned to the glass. She typed a message and held it up for Ash to see. There is no time. We only have a little more than 24 hours until shutdown. That is when our organs will begin to... Trouble's here. Fail, and the antiviral will not work for us. It is already too late. No more questions. You have to go. You must stop Pierce from leaving the island. You must destroy the boat. You must destroy Kronos. Ash read the message over and over until he could have spoken it word for word. When he could look at it no longer, he took a deep breath and turned to Isabel. We can do this, right? Isabel swallowed hard and fixed her most determined expression. Yes, she said. We can. We must. Okay then, we should go now. We don't have much time. Ash typed one more message and placed the tablet computer on the metal floor by his feet, turning it so the scientist could read what he had written. He nodded to his mom and looked at her for the last time before heading out of the lab. When Ash and Isabel reached the door, the tablet screen had already dimmed, preparing to close down and conserve its battery. But the message was still visible. I will come back. I will save you. I promise.